It was a quiet and ordinary morning on August 6, 1945 in Hiroshima. The city, nestled along the Oda River, was alive with activity as families prepared for their day. Children headed to school laughing and chatting along the way, while shopkeepers arranged their goods in preparation for the morning rush. Workers made their way to factories, some producing supplies for the war effort. Despite years of conflict, life in Hiroshima carried a semblance of normalcy. The war's destruction had not yet touched this vibrant city. Few could have imagined that this day would change their lives and the course of history forever. At 8:15 a.m., the clear blue sky above Hiroshima was disrupted by the sudden roar of B-29 bomber named Enola Gay. The aircraft carried a weapon the world had never seen before, an atomic bomb nicknamed Little Boy. Moments later, a blinding flash of light lit up the sky, followed by an intense wave of heat and an ear-splitting explosion. The fireball that erupted reached temperatures over 1 million degrees Celsius, igniting everything in its path. A mushroom cloud rose ominously above the city, visible for miles. The explosion unleashed unimaginable destruction. Nearly everything within a 2-mile radius was obliterated. Over 70,000 people were killed instantly. Those closest to the blast were vaporized, while others suffered horrific burns and injuries. Skyscraping flames engulfed entire neighborhoods, spreading rapidly through the city. Buildings collapsed like paper, trapping thousands under the rubble. Survivors stumbled through the debris, their skin peeling from their bodies, their faces unrecognizable from burns. Many were silent, too shocked to cry out, while others called desperately for loved ones who would never answer. By nightfall, Hiroshima was unrecognizable, a lifeless charred wasteland filled with ash and silence. 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, Nagasaki awoke to a similarly grim fate. This historic port city, known for its rich culture and industry, was quieter than usual that morning. Clouds covered the sky, and many residents believed they were safe from attack. But at 11:02 a.m., a second atomic bomb, Fat Man, was dropped. The target was the city center, but due to poor visibility, the bomb detonated over a valley. The hilly terrain provided some protection, sparing parts of the city, but the devastation was still catastrophic. The explosion released an energy equivalent to 21 kilotons of TNT, creating a massive firestorm. Entire neighborhoods were flattened, and over 40,000 people were killed instantly. The wounded faced gruesome injuries, many blinded by the flash or suffering burns that left them unrecognizable. Fires consumed the rubble, and the air was filled with the acrid smell of smoke and death. Survivors searched desperately for loved ones among the ruins, but many found only silence and loss. Radiation sickness began to take its toll, with symptoms like vomiting, hair loss, and internal bleeding appearing within days. By the end of the year, the death toll had surpassed 70,000. The twin bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki left the world in shock. The images of flattened cities, charred bodies, and survivors suffering in unimaginable ways revealed the true cost of this new weapon. On August 15, 1945, Japan announced its surrender, bringing World War II to an end. The bombings were hailed by some as a necessary step to save lives by avoiding a prolonged invasion. For the survivors, known as hibakusha, the war's end marked the beginning of a new struggle. Many faced lifelong health problems caused by radiation exposure, including cancer, leukemia, and infertility. Children born to survivors were often stigmatized, with fears that they might inherit radiation-related illnesses. The hibakusha also faced discrimination in their own society, often being seen as cursed or unfit for marriage. Despite the immense tragedy, the people of Hiroshima and Nagasaki demonstrated incredible resilience. Slowly, they began to rebuild their lives and their cities. Hiroshima, once a city of ash, grew into a vibrant hub of industry and culture. Nagasaki too rose from the rubble, reclaiming its identity as a center of trade and religion. Monuments were erected to honor the victims and to serve as a reminder of the horrors of nuclear war. The Hiroshima Peace Memorial, with its iconic A-bomb dome, stands as a symbol of hope and a call for peace, while the Nagasaki Atomic Bomb Museum tells the stories of survivors to future generations. The bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki ushered in the nuclear age, forever altering the course of history. The memories of Hiroshima and Nagasaki remind us of humanity's capacity for both destruction and renewal, and call upon us to choose a path of peace for future generations.